Welcome to Sleeping Researcher, a channel dedicated to gentle science narration, designed to help you relax and drift peacefully to sleep. Here we explore the wonders of our natural world in a soft, calming voice, easing your mind with fascinating stories from science. Today, we journey into the heart of our planet's life-supporting systems, the essential cycles that sustain every living thing on Earth. From the continuous flow of water through the air, land, and oceans, to the movement of carbon that fuels growth and balances our atmosphere, these cycles form an intricate web of connections. Understanding these natural rhythms helps us appreciate the delicate balance that keeps life thriving. As we explore the water cycle, the carbon cycle, and other vital processes, you will discover how Earth's systems work quietly and tirelessly, day after day, sustaining the world we call home. If you enjoy this calm journey through nature's essential processes, please like this video and subscribe to Sleeping Researcher. Your support helps us continue sharing soothing science stories that bring peace and curiosity into your nightly routine. Now, let us gently begin our exploration of Earth's essential cycles, inviting you to relax, listen, and connect with the natural rhythms that sustain all life. Imagine a world where every drop of water and every breath of air moves in a silent, graceful dance, an endless circulation that sustains all forms of life. This quiet choreography happens all around us, often unnoticed, yet it is fundamental to the very existence of life on Earth. These are Earth's essential cycles, natural processes that continuously recycle vital elements like water and carbon, weaving a delicate balance that supports ecosystems, climates, and ultimately the living beings that call this planet home. As we begin to explore these invisible processes, we can gain a deeper appreciation for the intricate connections that bind the atmosphere, oceans, land, and life itself in a harmonious loop. One of the most familiar and vital of these is the water cycle, a perpetual journey that moves water through the environment in its many forms. Water evaporates from oceans, lakes, and rivers, rising as vapor into the atmosphere, where it cools and condenses into clouds. Eventually it returns to the surface as precipitation, nourishing soils and filling bodies of water. This continuous circulation not only provides fresh water for plants, animals, and humans, but also regulates climate by distributing heat around the globe. The water cycle is a remarkable demonstration of nature's ability to sustain life through constant renewal and movement. A reminder that water is never simply lost, but endlessly transformed and reused. Alongside water's journey, the carbon cycle operates as an equally essential mechanism, balancing carbon through the air, oceans, soil, and living organisms. Carbon atoms travel through this cycle as carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, absorbed by plants during photosynthesis, then pass through food chains or stored in the Earth's crust as fossil fuels and sediments. When organisms breathe, decompose, or burn fuel, carbon returns to the atmosphere, maintaining a dynamic equilibrium. This cycle is crucial for regulating Earth's climate and supporting the growth of plants that form the foundation of most ecosystems. Understanding the carbon cycle reveals how closely life is intertwined with the planet's chemistry and how delicate this balance truly is. These cycles, though invisible to the casual observer, are the silent engines of life, operating on scales both vast and minute. They remind us that Earth is a living system, where energy and matter flow continuously, connecting every creature to the environment. The seamless interaction of the water and carbon cycles, among others, creates the conditions necessary for life to thrive, adapting over millions of years to changes and challenges. As we delve deeper into these natural processes, we begin to uncover the profound ways in which they sustain our planet and shape the world we inhabit. At the heart of Earth's ability to support life lie a series of essential cycles, natural pathways through which elements and compounds move continuously across the planet. These cycles are the very rhythms that keep ecosystems balanced and thriving. Among them, the water cycle stands out as a fundamental process, governing the movement of water in its many forms. Vapor rising into the atmosphere, clouds drifting across the sky, rain nourishing the soil, and rivers carrying life-giving moisture back to the oceans. This constant movement of water not only sustains plants and animals, but also shapes climates and landscapes. Through evaporation, condensation, precipitation, and collection, the water cycle ensures that water is never lost, but endlessly recycled, maintaining the delicate equilibrium on which all terrestrial and aquatic life depends. Alongside water's journey, the carbon cycle quietly orchestrates the flow of carbon, an element central to life's molecular fabric. Carbon atoms move through the air as carbon dioxide, absorbed by plants during photosynthesis and transformed into the building blocks of life. These plants become food for animals, passing carbon along the food chain. When organisms respire, decompose or burn, carbon returns to the atmosphere or soil, completing a continuous loop. This cycle not only regulates the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, but also influences Earth's climate and the health of ecosystems. The balance maintained by the carbon cycle is vital, as disruptions can lead to climate shifts, affecting every living thing, illustrating how intertwined life is with these elemental flows. Beyond water and carbon, other essential cycles, such as the nitrogen and phosphorus cycles, play equally crucial roles in sustaining life. Nitrogen cycles through the atmosphere, soil, and living organisms, fueling the growth of plants by contributing to proteins and DNA. Phosphorus moves through rocks, water, and living systems, supporting energy transfer and genetic material. Each cycle operates in harmony, connecting the atmosphere, lithosphere, hydrosphere, and biosphere in a complex network of exchange. These cycles work silently yet persistently, ensuring that nutrients are available where and when life requires them. Together, they form a web of interconnected processes that maintain the health and resilience of ecosystems, allowing life to flourish in diverse environments around the globe. As these elemental cycles weave through the Earth, they demonstrate the planet's remarkable capacity for renewal and balance. They remind us that life is not a static state, but a dynamic, ongoing process, sustained by constant movement and transformation. The water and carbon cycles, in particular, illustrate how energy and matter flow seamlessly between living organisms and their surroundings, shaping the very conditions that allow life to exist. By understanding these cycles, we gain insight into the delicate interdependence of Earth's systems and the importance of preserving the natural processes that sustain our world. The water cycle, often called Earth's lifeblood, is a continuous and vital process that moves water through the atmosphere, land, and oceans. It begins when the sun's warmth causes water to evaporate from oceans, lakes, and rivers, transforming it from liquid to vapor. This invisible vapor rises gently into the cooler layers of the atmosphere, where it condenses to form clouds. Eventually, gravity draws the water back to Earth's surface as precipitation, rain, snow, or dew, replenishing the land, rivers, and underground aquifers. This endless circulation sustains every living organism, providing the essential hydration needed for survival and growth. Over time, the water cycle also shapes the landscape, carving valleys and nourishing forests, while maintaining the delicate balance between the planet's various ecosystems. As water travels through the cycle, it interacts intimately with living beings. Plants absorb water through their roots, channeling it upward to leaves, where it supports photosynthesis, the process by which they convert sunlight into energy. In this way, water acts as a bridge, connecting the physical environment with biological processes. Animals depend on this cycle as well, drinking from streams and rivers, or drawing moisture from the plants they consume. Even microscopic life in soil and water relies on this steady flow to thrive. The water cycle is therefore not merely about the movement of a substance. It is about sustaining the complex web of life that blankets our planet. The continuous renewal of water resources ensures that no part of Earth remains dry for long, fostering resilience in ecosystems that might otherwise perish amid scarcity. Water's journey through the cycle also plays a crucial role in regulating Earth's climate. As water evaporates, it absorbs heat from the surface, cooling the environment. Later, when it condenses into clouds and falls as precipitation, it releases stored heat back into the atmosphere, influencing weather patterns and temperature. This exchange helps moderate extremes, creating the temperate conditions that allow diverse life forms to flourish. The cycle's rhythm is finely tuned, responding to seasonal shifts and geographic variations, ensuring that water is distributed where it is most needed. Through this elegant system, Earth sustains its habitability, balancing energy and matter in a dance that has continued for billions of years. The water cycle also connects closely with other essential cycles, such as the carbon cycle, illustrating the interconnectedness of Earth's systems. For example, water is a medium through which carbon dioxide dissolves in oceans, facilitating the growth of phytoplankton, tiny plants that form the base of marine food webs and play a key role in carbon sequestration. On land, water enables plants to absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, integrating it into organic molecules during photosynthesis. This synergy between water and carbon cycles highlights how matter and energy flow through the planet, linking atmosphere, biosphere, hydrosphere, and lithosphere in a seamless exchange. These cycles together create the foundation of Earth's life support system, a testament to nature's intricate design and resilience. The journey of water through Earth's atmosphere begins with evaporation, a gentle yet vital process driven by the sun's radiant energy. When solar rays reach the surface of oceans, lakes, and rivers, they warm the water molecules, increasing their motion until some break free from the liquid state. This transformation from liquid to vapor marks the first step in water's endless voyage through the sky. As water molecules rise, they carry with them not only moisture, but also the warmth absorbed from sunlight, contributing to the circulation of energy within the atmosphere. Evaporation is a subtle dance between heat and molecules, invisible to the eye, yet essential to sustaining life across the planet. The sun's energy, stored as latent heat within water vapor, will later be released during condensation, fueling atmospheric dynamics and weather patterns. This continuous exchange ensures that water does not remain static, but moves ceaselessly, connecting distant ecosystems and climates through the invisible threads of moisture in the air. As evaporation unfolds, the atmosphere becomes enriched with water vapor, an invisible gas that forms the reservoir from which clouds emerge. This stage is crucial because it sets the stage for precipitation, replenishing terrestrial and aquatic environments. The process is influenced by temperature, humidity, and wind, all of which govern how much water the air can hold and how it moves across the globe. Over warm ocean surfaces, evaporation rates can be particularly high, feeding tropical rainbelts and monsoon systems, while in cooler regions, the process slows, demonstrating the delicate balance maintained by Earth's energy flows. The movement of water vapor through the atmosphere also plays a role in regulating temperature, as it is a potent greenhouse gas that traps heat and moderates the planet's climate. Through evaporation, the sun's energy is thus stored and transported, linking the hydrosphere with the atmosphere and ensuring that water continues to cycle in a rhythm that supports life on land and sea. The significance of evaporation extends beyond the mere movement of water. It is integral to the recycling of nutrients and the maintenance of ecosystems. As water evaporates, it leaves behind dissolved minerals and impurities, resulting in relatively pure vapor that will later condense into fresh precipitation. This natural purification process is essential for sustaining freshwater sources that plants, animals, and humans depend upon. Moreover, evaporation influences soil moisture levels and plant transpiration, as plants draw water from the ground and release it through their leaves, contributing further to atmospheric moisture. This intricate interplay between evaporation and transpiration, often referred to as evapotranspiration, demonstrates how living organisms are woven into the fabric of Earth's water cycle, each element supporting the next in a chain of life-sustaining events. The energy-driven ascent of water vapor is thus a testament to the seamless cooperation between solar power and biological systems. As water vapor rises higher into the atmosphere, it encounters progressively cooler temperatures. This cooling process causes the vapor molecules to lose energy and begin to cluster together. When these tiny droplets gather around microscopic particles such as dust, salt, or pollen, they form the initial seeds of clouds. This transformation from invisible gas to visible liquid is known as condensation, a delicate yet powerful step in the water cycle. Clouds are not static entities, but dynamic systems, constantly evolving as water vapor condenses and evaporates. Their formation illustrates the delicate balance between heat, moisture, and atmospheric pressure, showcasing how Earth's energy flows continuously shape our environment. The very sight of clouds drifting across the sky is a visible reminder of the invisible processes that sustain life below, linking the vast atmosphere with the terrestrial world in a continuous exchange of moisture and energy. Within these clouds, countless minuscule droplets hang suspended, each one a tiny reservoir of condensed water. Their collective presence influences weather patterns and climate, acting as both reflectors of sunlight and moderators of temperature. Clouds play a crucial role in Earth's energy budget by reflecting incoming solar radiation back into space, helping to regulate the planet's temperature. At the same time, they trap heat radiating from the surface, maintaining warmth during cooler nights. This dual function contributes to the stability of ecosystems, allowing plants and animals to thrive in balanced conditions. The condensation process is therefore not just a simple phase change, but a fundamental mechanism connecting solar energy, atmospheric dynamics, and the hydrological cycle. As water droplets within clouds collide and grow, they prepare to return to Earth, completing the cycle that began with evaporation. The journey of water from vapor to cloud droplets highlights the intricate interdependence of Earth's systems. Condensation is influenced by factors such as air temperature, humidity, and the availability of condensation nuclei, demonstrating the sensitivity of the cycle to subtle environmental changes. This sensitivity ensures that even slight variations in climate or atmospheric composition can ripple through the cycle, affecting precipitation patterns and ultimately the distribution of fresh water resources. Understanding this process deepens our appreciation for the finely tuned mechanisms that have evolved over millennia to sustain life. Clouds, then, become more than mere weather phenomena. They are vital participants in a planetary rhythm that connects oceans, continents, and living organisms in a shared dance of renewal. As droplets grow heavier within clouds, they eventually begin their descent back to Earth, heralding the next phase of the water cycle. As water droplets within clouds coalesce and grow, they reach a critical mass that gravity can no longer hold aloft. This delicate balance between upward air currents and downward pull culminates in the gentle release of precipitation, a process that manifests in many forms, such as rain, snow, sleet, or hail. Each form carries with it a unique signature of the atmospheric conditions it has traversed: temperature gradients, humidity levels, and even altitude. When precipitation falls, it performs the vital task of replenishing Earth's fresh water reserves, nourishing soils, rivers, lakes, and underground aquifers alike. This renewal is not merely a physical replenishment, but a restoration of life's very foundation, enabling plants to grow, animals to thrive, and ecosystems to maintain their intricate balance. The steady rhythm of precipitation ensures a continuous supply of water to terrestrial and aquatic habitats, sustaining the countless species that depend on it for survival. Upon reaching the Earth's surface, precipitation begins its journey through a variety of pathways that weave together the landscapes and ecosystems of our planet. Some water infiltrates the soil, replenishing underground aquifers that serve as reservoirs for human consumption and ecological stability. Other portions flow across the land as surface runoff, feeding into streams and rivers that act as natural arteries, distributing fresh water across vast regions. This dynamic movement not only supports life, but also shapes the physical environment, carving valleys and nourishing wetlands that are hotspots of biodiversity. The timing and intensity of precipitation influence these processes profoundly, highlighting the delicate interplay between atmospheric conditions and terrestrial systems. Each drop that returns to Earth carries the promise of renewal, connecting clouds to roots, rivers to forests, and ultimately the global community of life. In this way, precipitation becomes a vital link, bridging atmospheric phenomena with the thriving ecosystems below. The forms of precipitation are as varied as the climates they visit, each contributing uniquely to Earth's hydrological tapestry. Snow, for example, blankets vast regions during colder months, acting as a slow-release reservoir that melts gradually, sustaining freshwater flow during drier seasons. Rainfall, often more immediate and direct, refreshes soil moisture and fills bodies of water, providing essential hydration for plant roots and aquatic organisms alike. In some regions, gentle drizzles nurture delicate ecosystems, while in others, intense storms reshape landscapes and redistribute nutrients. These diverse expressions of precipitation reflect the intricate feedbacks between atmospheric conditions and terrestrial environments, showcasing the exquisite sensitivity of Earth's water cycle. Through this continual exchange, precipitation not only replenishes freshwater sources, but also supports the metabolic processes of living organisms, facilitating photosynthesis, respiration, and myriad biochemical interactions essential to life. As water completes this phase of its journey, it sets the stage for further cycles that weave together carbon, nutrients, and energy throughout the biosphere. The availability of fresh water supplied by precipitation is fundamental to the survival and flourishing of terrestrial and aquatic life forms. Plants rely on the steady input of water to conduct photosynthesis, drawing nutrients from the soil and transforming solar energy into organic matter that sustains food webs. Animals depend on freshwater habitats for drinking, reproduction, and shelter, while microorganisms mediate processes such as decomposition and nutrient cycling. Wetlands, nourished by consistent precipitation, act as natural filters, improving water quality and mitigating floods. This interconnectedness reveals how precipitation functions not just as a physical phenomenon, but as a life-sustaining force that maintains ecological balance. Variations in precipitation patterns, whether due to seasonal shifts or long-term climate changes, ripple through ecosystems, influencing species distributions and the timing of biological events. Understanding precipitation's role in replenishing fresh water is thus essential to appreciating the delicate equilibrium that supports life on Earth. These cycles remind us that water's return to the surface is a moment of both renewal and profound connection. Once precipitation reaches the Earth's surface, water embarks on a journey that is crucial to sustaining life. Some of this water gently infiltrates the soil, seeping downward through tiny spaces between particles of earth and rock. This slow absorption replenishes groundwater reserves, which quietly feed springs, wells, and aquifers that communities and ecosystems depend upon. Infiltration also hydrates the soil, enabling plants to draw water through their roots, a process essential for photosynthesis and growth. The depth and rate of infiltration depend on many factors, such as soil texture, vegetation cover, and the intensity of rainfall. Porous, healthy soils rich in organic matter encourage water to soak in, allowing ecosystems to flourish beneath the surface. This hidden movement of water supports a vast network of life, nourishing roots and microorganisms alike. As water moves downward, it is gradually filtered, removing impurities and replenishing the Earth's natural reservoirs, silently weaving a web of sustenance that often goes unnoticed, but is vital in maintaining the health of landscapes and communities. Yet, not all water sinks quietly into the earth. When rainfall exceeds the soil's capacity to absorb it, or when the ground is impermeable due to rocks, compaction, or urban surfaces, water begins to flow over the land. This surface runoff travels across hillsides, through valleys, and into rivers, lakes, and oceans. Runoff plays a dynamic role in shaping the Earth's surface, carving channels and transporting nutrients and sediments downstream. While it may seem transient, runoff is essential to the redistribution of water, replenishing rivers and wetlands that serve as habitats for countless species. It also supports human needs by feeding reservoirs and aquifers, providing water for agriculture, industry, and daily life. However, the quality and quantity of runoff are influenced by land use and environmental conditions, sometimes carrying pollutants that must be managed carefully to protect aquatic ecosystems. This delicate balance between infiltration and runoff highlights water's dual pathways, each integral to maintaining the vitality of natural and human systems. The interplay of infiltration and runoff is part of a larger hydrological cycle that ensures water is continuously renewed and shared across the planet. Infiltrated water stored underground may take months to years to resurface, emerging through springs or slowly feeding rivers during dry periods, thus sustaining ecosystems when surface water is scarce. Meanwhile, runoff swiftly moves water across landscapes, connecting distant environments and enabling the flow of nutrients and energy through aquatic food webs. This constant movement of water, whether beneath the soil or flowing visibly through streams, maintains the moisture balance necessary for life to thrive. Humans too rely on this cycle, harnessing groundwater and surface water for drinking, irrigation, and energy production. Understanding these pathways deepens our appreciation of water's quiet, yet powerful role in supporting the intricate tapestry of life. As we observe water's journey from sky to earth and back again, we glimpse the profound connections that sustain both natural habitats and human civilizations. Beyond its physical movement, water's infiltration and runoff also influence other essential Earth cycles, such as the carbon cycle. When water soaks into the soil, it facilitates the transport of dissolved carbon compounds, aiding microbial activity that breaks down organic matter and recycles nutrients. Runoff carries organic material and carbon-rich sediments into aquatic systems, contributing to carbon storage in wetlands and ocean sediments. These processes help regulate atmospheric carbon dioxide levels, influencing climate and ecosystem health. The seamless integration of water's pathways with chemical and biological cycles exemplifies the interconnectedness of Earth's systems. By nourishing soils, supporting plant growth, and mediating carbon exchange, infiltration and runoff serve as vital threads weaving together the planet's life-supporting mechanisms. This intricate dance of water and carbon reveals how the Earth's cycles are interdependent, shaping the conditions that allow life to persist and evolve. The carbon cycle is a fundamental process that governs the movement of carbon through Earth's atmosphere, oceans, land, and living organisms, Carbon, being a key building block of life, cycles continuously between these reservoirs, maintaining a delicate balance that regulates our planet's climate. Plants absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere during photosynthesis, converting it into organic matter that sustains a multitude of life forms. When organisms respire, decompose or burn fossil fuels, carbon is released back into the atmosphere, completing the cycle. This natural exchange acts as a thermostat, controlling the concentration of carbon dioxide, a potent greenhouse gas, and thereby influencing global temperatures. Through this ongoing exchange, the carbon cycle helps stabilize Earth's climate, making it hospitable for life. The ocean plays a vital role in the carbon cycle, serving as the largest active carbon reservoir on the planet. Carbon dioxide from the atmosphere dissolves into ocean waters, where it is used by phytoplankton during photosynthesis, much like plants on land. These microscopic organisms form the base of the marine food web and contribute to the ocean's ability to sequester carbon. When marine life dies, their organic remains sink to the ocean floor, effectively storing carbon in deep sediments for long periods. Additionally, physical processes such as ocean currents and temperature-driven mixing distribute carbon throughout the water column, influencing how much carbon is absorbed or released back into the atmosphere. This dynamic exchange between ocean and atmosphere is crucial in moderating climate fluctuations over both short and geological timescales. The ocean's vastness and complexity make it an indispensable partner in Earth's carbon balance. On land, soils act as significant carbon reservoirs, storing more carbon than the atmosphere and vegetation combined. As plant material falls to the ground and decomposes, carbon-rich organic matter is incorporated into the soil. Microorganisms play a crucial role in breaking down this material, releasing nutrients that nourish new growth, while also stabilizing carbon within the soil matrix. Land management and vegetation cover influence how much carbon soils can retain or release, highlighting the importance of healthy ecosystems in maintaining this natural balance. Events such as wildfires or deforestation disrupt this equilibrium, releasing stored carbon rapidly and contributing to atmospheric carbon increases. Through the continual renewal of organic matter and microbial activity, soils remain a vital component in the carbon cycle, supporting life and regulating atmospheric gases. In this way, terrestrial ecosystems weave carbon deeply into the fabric of Earth's living landscape. The carbon cycle is also intimately connected to Earth's geological processes, where carbon can be locked away for millions of years. Over vast timescales, carbon compounds become buried in sediments, eventually forming fossil fuels such as coal, oil, and natural gas. Volcanic activity and tectonic shifts can release this stored carbon back into the atmosphere, completing a slow but continuous cycle. This geological aspect of the carbon cycle contributes to the long-term regulation of Earth's climate, balancing carbon over epochs. Human activity, however, has accelerated the release of fossil carbon, altering the natural rhythm and impacting climate systems. Understanding the interplay between biological, chemical, and geological carbon pathways reveals the complexity of Earth's climate regulation emphasizing the delicate balance that sustains life. This deeper perspective connects the immediate cycles of life with the slow pulse of the planet itself. Together, these components of the carbon cycle form an intricate network, seamlessly integrating with other Earth systems, like the water and nitrogen cycles. The movement of carbon through air, water, soil, and living organisms creates a dynamic equilibrium, shaping the atmosphere and influencing global climate patterns. This balance supports diverse ecosystems, from lush forests to vast oceans, each playing a role in carbon storage and exchange. Changes in any part of this system ripple through the entire cycle, demonstrating the interconnectedness of Earth's life-supporting processes. As we continue to explore these natural rhythms, the carbon cycle stands as a profound example of how Earth's essential cycles sustain the delicate conditions necessary for life to flourish. At the heart of the carbon cycle lies the remarkable process of photosynthesis, a natural mechanism by which plants capture carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Through microscopic pores in their leaves, called stomata, plants draw in carbon dioxide, combining it with water absorbed from the soil. Using sunlight as an energy source, a complex series of chemical reactions transforms these simple molecules into organic compounds, primarily sugars. These sugars serve as the foundational building blocks of plant tissues, fueling growth and development. This transformation not only captures carbon, but also forms the basis of energy storage within plants, enabling them to sustain themselves and, ultimately, the myriad forms of life that depend on them. The elegance of photosynthesis reveals how living organisms harness Earth's resources, converting atmospheric gases into tangible matter that supports entire ecosystems. As plants synthesize organic matter, they simultaneously release oxygen as a vital byproduct, replenishing the atmosphere with the gas essential for most life forms. This oxygen sustains animals, fungi, and countless microorganisms, creating an intricate balance between carbon capture and oxygen production. Forests, grasslands, and even microscopic algae in the oceans participate in this global exchange, collectively absorbing vast amounts of carbon dioxide each year. This natural uptake helps regulate atmospheric carbon levels, moderating climate, and supporting the health of diverse habitats. The photosynthetic process thus acts as a gentle, persistent force, steadily weaving carbon into the fabric of life while breathing new life into the air we share. It is within this cycle that the intertwined destinies of plants and other organisms unfold, illustrating the profound interdependence of Earth's living systems. Beyond their individual growth, plants form the foundation of food chains, transferring the energy captured from sunlight to herbivores and subsequently to predators and decomposers. The organic matter created through photosynthesis serves as nourishment, supporting animal populations and influencing ecosystem dynamics. When plants are consumed, the carbon contained within their tissues moves through the food web, cycling back into the environment through respiration, waste, or decomposition. This continuous flow of carbon ensures that energy circulates efficiently, sustaining life across various trophic levels. The seamless integration of photosynthesis into the carbon cycle highlights nature's capacity to maintain balance, enabling ecosystems to thrive amid changing conditions. In this way, plants act not only as carbon sinks, but as vital connectors in the web of life, linking the atmosphere, land, and living creatures in a shared exchange. Photosynthesis also plays a crucial role in shaping Earth's atmosphere over geological timescales. As ancient plants and microorganisms captured carbon dioxide and stored it in organic forms, some of this carbon eventually became locked away in soils, peatlands, and fossil fuels. This long-term sequestration influences atmospheric composition and global temperatures, underscoring the enduring impact of photosynthetic processes. Today, understanding how plants capture and cycle carbon helps scientists address contemporary challenges, such as climate change and habitat preservation. By appreciating this natural rhythm, we gain insight into the delicate balance that sustains life and the ways human activities intersect with these fundamental cycles. The study of photosynthesis thus opens a window to the profound connections between biological processes and planetary health. In considering photosynthesis within the broader context of Earth's essential cycles, we see how this process harmonizes with water, nitrogen, and other elemental cycles. Water absorbed by roots travels through plants, facilitating photosynthetic reactions and nutrient transport, while nitrogen supports the synthesis of proteins necessary for growth. Together, these cycles create a resilient and interdependent system, each component reinforcing the others in a continuous dance of renewal. As we reflect on the vital role of plants capturing carbon, it becomes clear that life on Earth is sustained by a delicate balance of natural rhythms, where energy and matter flow in ceaseless exchange. This understanding guides us toward the next chapter in Earth's story, the movement and transformation of water, the lifeblood of our planet's ecosystems. As plants draw carbon dioxide from the air to build their tissues through photosynthesis, another essential process quietly unfolds, completing the carbon cycle. Respiration, a fundamental mechanism shared by animals, plants, and many microorganisms, releases carbon back into the atmosphere. When animals breathe, they consume oxygen and break down organic molecules, such as sugars derived from plants, producing energy and exhaling carbon dioxide. This return of carbon is not limited to animals alone. Plants also respire, especially at night, balancing their carbon intake with release. In this way, respiration acts as a vital counterpart to photosynthesis, ensuring that carbon flows continuously between living organisms and the environment. The constant exchange maintains atmospheric balance, preventing the build-up or depletion of carbon dioxide, which is crucial for regulating Earth's climate and supporting the web of life dependent on this equilibrium. Beyond respiration, decomposition plays a silent yet profound role in returning carbon to the environment. When organisms die, their bodies become a rich source of organic matter for a vast community of decomposers, bacteria, fungi, and other microbes that break down complex compounds into simpler forms. This process releases carbon dioxide back into the atmosphere through microbial respiration, while also enriching soil with nutrients that plants later absorb to continue growth. Decomposition acts as a natural recycling system, transforming life's remnants into building blocks for new life. Without this crucial process, carbon would remain locked in dead material, disrupting the delicate flow of energy and matter that sustains ecosystems. Through respiration and decomposition, carbon continuously cycles, weaving together the fates of all living things and the very air we breathe. The interplay between respiration and decomposition highlights the intricate balance of Earth's carbon cycle, a timeless exchange that has shaped life for billions of years. Animals consume plants, converting stored carbon into energy, and then return it through breathing. When life's journey ends, microbial decomposers take over, dismantling organic matter and releasing carbon back into the atmosphere and soil. This dynamic ensures that carbon remains available in forms accessible to plants, which once again capture it through photosynthesis. Each participant in this cycle, from the smallest microbe to the largest mammal, contributes to a grand ecological harmony. Observing this, we come to appreciate how even unseen processes sustain the atmosphere's balance and the ongoing vitality of all ecosystems. This continuous movement of carbon is intimately linked to other essential cycles, such as the water cycle, which carries nutrients and supports life's various transformations. Water facilitates the transport of carbon compounds through rivers, soils, and the atmosphere, connecting terrestrial and aquatic systems. Decomposition often depends on moisture, as microbes require water to thrive and break down organic matter efficiently. Likewise, respiration rates can be influenced by temperature and water availability, highlighting the interconnectedness of Earth's elemental cycles. As carbon moves in tandem with water and other nutrients, the planet's ecosystems maintain resilience and adaptability through changing conditions. This harmony among cycles forms the foundation for life's persistence and renewal across Earth's diverse landscapes. Among Earth's remarkable systems, the oceans stand as vast reservoirs of carbon, quietly absorbing and storing immense quantities from the atmosphere. Through physical and biological processes, carbon dioxide dissolves into surface waters, where it can remain for centuries or longer. Phytoplankton, microscopic plants drifting near the surface, harness sunlight and carbon dioxide to produce organic matter, forming the base of marine food webs. When these organisms die, some of their carbon-rich remains sink to the ocean floor, becoming part of sediment layers that lock away carbon for millennia. This slow but steady sequestration plays a crucial role in moderating global climate, preventing the atmosphere from accumulating excessive carbon dioxide. The deep ocean thus acts as a natural buffer, balancing the carbon cycle over long timescales and helping to maintain the stable conditions necessary for life on Earth. The intricate dance of carbon in marine environments reflects a delicate equilibrium where the ocean's capacity to absorb and store carbon is influenced by temperature, circulation patterns, and biological activity. Beyond the oceans, another significant reservoir of carbon lies hidden beneath the Earth's surface in the form of fossil fuels. Over millions of years, the remains of ancient plants and microorganisms were subjected to heat and pressure, transforming into coal, oil, and natural gas. These fossilized stores represent carbon that has been sequestered away for geological epochs, effectively removing it from the active carbon cycle. When humans extract and burn these fuels, the stored carbon is released back into the atmosphere as carbon dioxide, influencing the modern climate system. This release contrasts sharply with the slow, natural processes that originally sequestered the carbon, highlighting the profound impact of human activity on Earth's carbon balance. Understanding the role of fossil fuels as long-term carbon reservoirs underscores the importance of managing their use carefully to avoid disrupting the delicate cycles that sustain planetary health. The interplay between the oceanic carbon sinks and fossil fuel reservoirs illustrates the complexity and scale of Earth's carbon storage. While the oceans continuously absorb and release carbon on shorter timescales, fossil fuels represent a deep time archive of carbon, locked away through natural processes. Together, they form a dynamic system that has regulated Earth's climate for millions of years. When carbon is released too rapidly or in excessive amounts, as seen in recent centuries, these natural cycles struggle to maintain balance, leading to shifts in global temperature, ocean chemistry, and atmospheric composition. Recognizing the importance of these reservoirs invites a broader appreciation for Earth's self-regulating mechanisms and the delicate thresholds that support life. The sensitivity of these systems reminds us that Earth's cycles are interconnected threads woven through time and space, each vital to sustaining the environment we inhabit. Human activity has increasingly altered the natural rhythms of Earth's essential cycles, disrupting the delicate balance that has sustained life for millennia. One of the most profound impacts comes from deforestation, where vast swaths of forest are cleared for agriculture, urbanization, or resource extraction. Trees play a critical role in the carbon cycle, absorbing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere through photosynthesis and storing it in their biomass. When forests are cut down or burned, this stored carbon is released back into the atmosphere as carbon dioxide, contributing to greenhouse gas accumulation. Moreover, without the tree's presence, the soil becomes more vulnerable to erosion, and the water cycle is affected as transpiration rates decline, reducing local humidity and precipitation patterns. This disruption can cascade through the environment, altering weather systems and reducing biodiversity. These changes highlight how interconnected our actions are with Earth's natural processes, and how the removal of one component can ripple through multiple cycles. In addition to deforestation, the combustion of fossil fuels has introduced unprecedented amounts of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, overwhelming the planet's ability to absorb and regulate this greenhouse gas. Fossil fuels, once securely stored underground, represent carbon that was sequestered over millions of years. When extracted and burned for energy, this carbon is rapidly returned to the atmosphere, accelerating the carbon cycle beyond its natural pace. The increased concentration of carbon dioxide strengthens the greenhouse effect, trapping more heat and contributing to global warming. This warming influences the water cycle as well, intensifying evaporation rates and altering precipitation patterns around the world. Changes in temperature and moisture availability can disrupt ecosystems, agricultural productivity, and freshwater supplies. The speed and scale of these changes challenge the resilience of Earth's natural cycles, emphasizing the profound impact of human activities on the planet's climate system. Beyond carbon, human activities also affect other vital biogeochemical cycles, such as the nitrogen and phosphorus cycles, often through the use of synthetic fertilizers and industrial processes. These alterations can lead to nutrient imbalances in soils and water bodies, causing phenomena like eutrophication that degrade aquatic ecosystems. The water cycle itself is increasingly influenced by human actions. Through urbanization, dam construction, and water extraction for agriculture and industry, these interventions change the natural flow of rivers and groundwater recharge, impacting habitats and the availability of clean water. As these cycles become increasingly stressed and unbalanced, feedback loops may emerge that further destabilize climate and ecosystems. For example, melting permafrost releases methane, a potent greenhouse gas, which then accelerates warming and disrupts carbon storage in soils. Such complexities underline the vulnerability of Earth's systems in the face of expanding human influence. Recognizing the scale of human impact on these essential cycles invites a deeper reflection on the responsibility inherent in our stewardship of the planet. While natural processes have evolved over millions of years to maintain equilibrium, the rapid pace of anthropogenic change challenges the capacity of these cycles to adapt. Yet this awareness also opens the door to mitigation and restoration efforts that aim to harmonize human activity with Earth's rhythms. Strategies such as reforestation, sustainable land management, and transitioning to renewable energy sources seek to reduce carbon emissions and restore balance to the carbon and water cycles. These efforts emphasize the potential to work with nature's processes rather than against them, fostering resilience within ecosystems and climate systems. Understanding how human actions intersect with Earth's life-sustaining cycles is essential as we move forward into an uncertain future. Scientific inquiry into the disruptions of Earth's fundamental cycles reveals a complex tapestry of interrelated changes unfolding across the globe. Researchers utilize sophisticated tools and satellite observations to monitor the delicate balance of these natural processes. For instance, NASA's Earth-observing satellites provide invaluable data on carbon fluxes, tracking how carbon moves between the atmosphere, land, and oceans. These observations have unveiled shifts in carbon uptake by forests and oceans, indicating that some ecosystems are becoming less efficient carbon sinks than before. Such changes reflect alterations in photosynthesis rates, soil respiration, and oceanic carbon absorption, all influenced by temperature changes, droughts, and human land use patterns. This scientific evidence underscores the urgent need to deepen our understanding of how these cycles respond to both natural variability and anthropogenic pressures. The subtle yet measurable changes detected by these studies serve as a call to action, reminding us that Earth's life-sustaining systems are not static, but dynamic and sensitive to external influences. In parallel, the water cycle experiences its own set of perturbations, with climate change altering patterns of evaporation, precipitation, and runoff. Long-term monitoring reveals shifts in rainfall distribution, intensities, and seasonal timing, which affect freshwater availability and ecosystem health. Research shows that warming temperatures increase evaporation rates, which can intensify droughts in some regions, while contributing to heavier rainfall and flooding in others. NASA's Gravity Recovery and Climate Experiment, GRACE satellites, have detected changes in groundwater storage, highlighting areas where water resources are depleting faster than they can be replenished. These findings emphasize the intricate connection between the carbon and water cycles, as changes in one often influence the other. For example, shifts in vegetation cover due to drought or deforestation affect transpiration and soil moisture, which in turn impact atmospheric carbon exchange. Thus, understanding the interplay of these cycles is critical for predicting future environmental conditions and managing natural resources sustainably. Continued scientific vigilance and multidisciplinary research remain essential to unraveling the complexities of these evolving cycles. Beyond observational studies, climate models integrate data on carbon and water cycles to simulate potential future scenarios under varying emission pathways. These models help scientists project how continued disruptions might amplify feedback loops within Earth's systems, such as permafrost thaw releasing stored carbon, or decreased snowpack altering river flow regimes. NASA's research contributes to refining these models, by providing high-resolution data that improves the accuracy of predictions. Such simulations are indispensable tools for policymakers and conservationists as they design adaptive strategies to mitigate the impacts of climate change. They also highlight regions and ecosystems most vulnerable to cycle disruptions, guiding targeted restoration efforts. While uncertainties remain, the convergence of observational and modeling research offers a clearer picture of the challenges ahead and the opportunities for intervention. This evolving body of knowledge invites us to consider not only the scientific dimensions, but also the ethical imperatives of preserving the delicate balance that sustains life on our planet. The wealth of scientific research into Earth's essential cycles also emphasizes the importance of global collaboration and open data sharing. International programs and partnerships facilitate the continuous flow of information necessary to monitor changes in real time and respond effectively. For example, coordinated efforts in tracking deforestation rates, oceanic carbon uptake, and water resource fluctuations provide a comprehensive understanding of cycle disturbances across different environments. These collaborative endeavors also foster innovation in remote sensing technologies, data analytics, and ecosystem management practices. By bridging scientific disciplines and geographical boundaries, the global research community strengthens its capacity to detect early warning signs of imbalance and to develop solutions grounded in empirical evidence. Such unity in scientific pursuit reflects a collective commitment to safeguarding Earth's natural processes for present and future generations. As these scientific investigations deepen, they reveal not only the vulnerabilities, but also the resilience inherent within Earth's cycles. Some ecosystems demonstrate remarkable adaptability, adjusting carbon and water fluxes in response to changing conditions. However, this resilience has limits, especially under the stress of accelerating human impact. Understanding where these thresholds lie remains a critical focus of ongoing research. NASA's continuous monitoring efforts contribute to identifying tipping points, moments when gradual changes cascade into abrupt and potentially irreversible shifts. Recognizing these signals early may provide crucial opportunities for intervention before damage becomes widespread. This nuanced insight into cycle dynamics fosters hope that informed actions can still steer the planet toward a more balanced trajectory. With each discovery, science encourages a deeper harmony between human presence and Earth's enduring cycles. The intricate dance between Earth's water and carbon cycles reveals a profound interconnectedness that sustains life across the planet. Water, in its relentless movement through evaporation, condensation, precipitation, and runoff, not only supports the physical transport of carbon, but also influences how carbon is absorbed and released by various reservoirs. Oceans, which cover over 70% of Earth's surface, serve as the largest active carbon sink, absorbing nearly a quarter of human-produced CO2 emissions annually. This absorption is deeply tied to the water cycle, as the temperature and salinity of seawater, affected by precipitation and evaporation patterns, determine how much carbon dioxide the ocean can uptake. Cooler waters tend to absorb more CO2, while warmer waters release it back into the atmosphere, demonstrating a delicate balance influenced by hydrological changes. The water cycle's modulation of ocean chemistry thus plays a crucial role in regulating atmospheric carbon levels, highlighting how water and carbon cycles are not isolated but fundamentally woven together. Beyond the oceans, terrestrial ecosystems also illustrate the synergy between water and carbon cycles. Plants rely on water transported from soil through their roots to conduct photosynthesis, a process that captures atmospheric carbon dioxide and converts it into organic matter. This link means that variations in precipitation and soil moisture directly influence the rate at which carbon is absorbed by forests and grasslands. During droughts, reduced water availability can limit photosynthesis, decreasing carbon uptake and potentially turning these ecosystems into carbon sources rather than sinks. Conversely, abundant rainfall can stimulate plant growth and increase carbon sequestration. Moreover, transpiration, the release of water vapor from plants, feeds back into the water cycle by contributing to humidity and precipitation patterns regionally. This bidirectional influence demonstrates a feedback loop where water availability controls carbon storage, and carbon dynamics in turn affect water cycling through plant physiology. Such interconnected processes underscore the complexity of Earth's life support systems and their sensitivity to climatic fluctuations. In the atmosphere, the interplay between water vapor and carbon dioxide further exemplifies their interconnected cycles. Water vapor is the most abundant greenhouse gas, and its concentration is influenced by temperature, which itself is affected by carbon dioxide levels. Increased CO2 enhances the greenhouse effect, raising global temperatures and consequently increasing evaporation rates. This rise in water vapor amplifies warming, as water vapor traps heat efficiently, creating a positive feedback mechanism. Yet this feedback is moderated by cloud formation, which depends on water cycle dynamics. Clouds can either cool the Earth by reflecting sunlight or warm it by trapping infrared radiation, depending on their type and altitude. This complexity makes predicting climate responses challenging, but highlights the necessity of understanding how water and carbon cycles co-regulate Earth's energy balance. The atmospheric interrelationship between these gases is a pivotal component of climate science and planetary health. Human activities have increasingly perturbed both water and carbon cycles, often in tandem, revealing vulnerabilities born from their interconnection. Deforestation, for example, not only releases stored carbon dioxide, but also alters local and regional water cycles by changing evapotranspiration rates and surface runoff patterns. Urbanization and agriculture modify land surfaces, impacting how water infiltrates soils and how carbon is cycled through biomass. Simultaneously, the warming driven by excess atmospheric CO2 alters precipitation distribution and intensity, influencing droughts and floods. These changes can disrupt the natural feedback loops between water and carbon cycles, potentially pushing ecosystems beyond their adaptive capacities. NASA's advanced satellite observations continue to monitor these alterations, providing critical data on how coupled water and carbon processes respond to anthropogenic pressures. Such insights are essential for developing strategies that mitigate negative impacts and support ecosystem resilience. Beyond the vital processes of water and carbon cycling, Earth hosts other essential biogeochemical cycles that intricately sustain life. Among these, the nitrogen cycle plays a pivotal role, enabling the transformation of inert atmospheric nitrogen into forms usable by living organisms. Nitrogen is a fundamental component of amino acids, proteins, and nucleic acids, which form the very foundation of biological structures and genetic material. Through a delicate balance of nitrogen fixation, nitrification, assimilation, ammonification, and denitrification, this cycle continuously converts nitrogen compounds across the atmosphere, soil, and living organisms. Specialized bacteria, including those residing in the root nodules of legumes, facilitate nitrogen fixation by converting nitrogen gas into ammonia, making it accessible to plants. In turn, plants incorporate nitrogen into their tissues, supporting herbivores and, ultimately, the entire food web. This dynamic exchange ensures that nitrogen remains available despite its atmospheric abundance being largely inaccessible in gaseous form. The nitrogen cycle's efficiency and resilience, however, can be affected by human activities such as excessive fertilizer use, which may lead to nutrient runoff and waterway eutrophication, demonstrating the delicate balance within which these cycles operate. Complementing the nitrogen cycle is the phosphorus cycle, a less conspicuous yet equally critical process that governs the availability of phosphorus, an essential element for life. Phosphorus atoms form the backbone of DNA and RNA molecules and are integral to energy transfer within cells through compounds like adenosine triphosphate, or ATP. Unlike nitrogen, phosphorus does not have a gaseous phase under Earth's natural conditions, and its cycle moves primarily through the weathering of rocks, soil absorption, and uptake by organisms. Phosphorus released from mineral deposits enters ecosystems gradually, absorbed by plants and passed along food chains. When organisms die or excrete waste, phosphorus returns to the soil or sediments, where it can be recycled or eventually locked away in geological formations. This slower, sediment-based cycle underscores the importance of long-term geological processes in sustaining biological functions. Human-induced disruptions, including mining for fertilizers and detergents, can accelerate phosphorus depletion in soils and contribute to nutrient pollution, underscoring the need for mindful management of this finite resource. Together, the nitrogen and phosphorus cycles complement the water and carbon cycles, establishing a network of elemental flows that underpin ecosystem productivity and health. Each cycle interacts with the others, weaving complex feedbacks that regulate nutrient availability, energy flow, and climate dynamics. For example, water serves as the medium through which nitrogen and phosphorus are transported between soils, plants, and aquatic systems. Carbon-based organic matter influences microbial processes that drive nitrogen transformations, while phosphorus availability can limit plant growth, consequently affecting carbon sequestration. These interconnected cycles highlight Earth's remarkable capacity for sustaining life through self-regulating mechanisms that have evolved over billions of years. Observing and understanding these cycles not only deepens our appreciation of the natural world, but also informs conservation and restoration efforts essential to maintaining planetary balance. As we explore these fundamental cycles, it becomes evident that their delicate equilibrium is vital for supporting the diversity and complexity of life on Earth. The ongoing changes wrought by human activity challenge this balance, making it ever more important to study and protect the natural processes that replenish and regulate essential nutrients. Advances in environmental science and technology continue to illuminate the subtle interactions among Earth's systems, guiding us towards sustainable stewardship. In the next discussion, we will delve into the sulfur cycle, another key player in Earth's intricate web of life, revealing how it contributes to atmospheric chemistry and ecosystem function. The vitality of Earth's ecosystems is intricately tied to the balance of essential biogeochemical cycles, such as the water and carbon cycles. These natural processes work quietly, yet persistently, to regulate the movement and transformation of vital elements, ensuring that ecosystems remain productive and resilient. For instance, the water cycle continuously circulates moisture through evaporation, condensation, precipitation, and infiltration, replenishing freshwater sources that sustain plant and animal life. Similarly, the carbon cycle governs the flow of carbon through the atmosphere, oceans, soil, and living organisms, maintaining concentrations that support photosynthesis and regulate global climate. When these cycles operate in harmony, they create stable conditions that nurture biodiversity, allowing countless species to thrive in complex webs of interaction. The interconnectedness of these cycles means that disruptions to one can ripple through the entire system, potentially destabilizing habitats and reducing the capacity of ecosystems to recover from stresses. Biodiversity itself is both a beneficiary and a contributor to the stability of Earth's cycles. Diverse communities of plants, animals, fungi, and microorganisms participate actively in nutrient transformations and energy flow. Trees and vegetation, for example, act as carbon sinks by absorbing atmospheric carbon dioxide during photosynthesis, while soil microbes decompose organic matter, releasing nutrients that renew the soil. This dynamic exchange helps to moderate greenhouse gases and supports the productivity of terrestrial and aquatic habitats. Moreover, biodiversity enhances ecosystem resilience, providing functional redundancy so that if one species declines, others can fulfill similar ecological roles. This redundancy is crucial for maintaining the continuity of cycles under changing environmental conditions. In this way, the equilibrium of Earth cycles and the richness of life they support form a reciprocal relationship that sustains the health and functionality of ecosystems worldwide. Human activities, however, have begun to exert unprecedented pressures on these delicate cycles. Industrial emissions, deforestation, and land use changes have altered carbon fluxes, contributing to elevated atmospheric carbon dioxide levels and climate shifts. Similarly, water cycles have been affected by urbanization, agricultural irrigation, and pollution, disrupting natural patterns of precipitation and water quality. Such disturbances can weaken ecosystem resilience, reducing biodiversity and impairing the natural processes that regulate nutrient availability and climate stability. Scientists and environmental managers increasingly recognize that protecting and restoring the balance of these cycles is essential for sustaining life-supporting systems. Through conservation efforts, sustainable resource management, and innovative technologies, it is possible to mitigate human impacts and foster the regeneration of these fundamental processes. These endeavors underscore the profound connection between cycle stability and the enduring health of ecosystems that we rely upon. As we deepen our understanding of Earth's cycles, it becomes clear that their seamless functioning depends on countless interactions that span microscopic to global scales. The subtle exchanges of water, carbon, and other key elements create feedback loops that regulate climate, nutrient availability, and habitat conditions. This complexity highlights the importance of interdisciplinary research, combining ecology, chemistry, geology, and atmospheric science to reveal the nuances of cycle dynamics. By appreciating the intricate balance that sustains ecosystem processes, humanity can cultivate a more harmonious relationship with the natural world. Such awareness encourages thoughtful stewardship and inspires efforts to maintain the integrity of the cycles that underpin biodiversity and ecosystem resilience. As we continue, the sulfur cycle awaits our attention, a vital yet often overlooked component of Earth's biochemical networks, intricately linked to atmospheric chemistry and environmental health. In recent decades, humanity has witnessed remarkable progress in the ability to observe and understand Earth's essential cycles through the lens of advanced technology. Satellites orbiting high above the planet provide continuous, global-scale data on the movement of water vapor, clouds, and precipitation, revealing the intricate rhythms of the water cycle with unprecedented clarity. These instruments measure variables such as sea surface temperatures, soil moisture, and atmospheric humidity, which are critical for predicting weather patterns and monitoring droughts or floods. On the other hand, ground-based sensors complement satellite observations by capturing localized details such as soil carbon content and greenhouse gas fluxes. Together, these tools form a comprehensive network that allows scientists to track the dynamic exchanges between the atmosphere, oceans, and terrestrial ecosystems. This synergy between remote sensing and in situ measurements elevates our understanding of how fluctuations in the water cycle influence ecosystems and human societies alike. With these insights, researchers can discern subtle changes that may signal disruptions or shifts in natural patterns, enhancing our ability to respond to environmental challenges. Beyond water, the carbon cycle has also become a focal point of observation through technological innovation. Satellites equipped with spectrometers detect concentrations of carbon dioxide and methane in the atmosphere, providing vital information on sources and sinks of these greenhouse gases. By tracking carbon fluxes between forests, oceans, and the atmosphere, scientists gain essential knowledge about the Earth's capacity to absorb emissions and mitigate climate change. Advanced modeling techniques integrate this data to forecast future scenarios, guiding policymakers toward informed decisions about carbon management and environmental protection. Additionally, autonomous sensors installed in remote ecosystems continuously monitor soil respiration and plant growth, offering a window into how terrestrial processes contribute to the global carbon balance. This fusion of technology and ecological science deepens our appreciation of the delicate exchanges that maintain atmospheric composition and regulate global temperatures. Thus, the carbon cycle's intricate dance becomes more visible, enabling proactive stewardship of the planet's climate system. The increasing sophistication of Earth observation technologies also extends to other vital cycles, such as nitrogen and sulfur, which regulate nutrient availability and atmospheric chemistry. Instruments aboard satellites measure atmospheric pollutants and trace gases, illuminating the pathways through which human activity influences these elemental cycles. Ground sensors track nutrient flows in soils and waterways, revealing how agricultural practices and industrial emissions interact with natural processes. Together, these data streams allow scientists to map the impacts of environmental change on ecosystem health and atmospheric composition. By integrating information across cycles, researchers can construct holistic models that depict the interconnectedness of Earth's biochemical networks. This comprehensive perspective fosters a deeper understanding of how disturbances in one cycle may ripple through others, affecting biodiversity and climate regulation. Such technological advances empower humanity to observe, analyze, and ultimately protect the vital processes that sustain life on our planet. The fusion of remote sensing, sensor networks, and computational modeling heralds a new era in environmental science, one in which the invisible threads connecting Earth's cycles become increasingly tangible. These technological tools not only enhance scientific understanding, but also serve as essential instruments for policymakers and conservationists. Real-time data on water availability, carbon emissions, and nutrient fluxes inform adaptive management strategies and environmental regulations, aligning human activity with the planet's natural rhythms. Moreover, public access to some of this information fosters global awareness and encourages collective action towards sustainability. As we harness these innovations, the hope is to safeguard the integrity of Earth's cycles against the mounting pressures of climate change and habitat loss. In this light, the ongoing development and deployment of monitoring technologies stand as a testament to humanity's growing commitment to coexist harmoniously with the natural world. As we gain deeper insights into the delicate balance of Earth's essential cycles, it becomes clear that the responsibility to protect these systems extends beyond scientists and policymakers. Each individual holds the potential to contribute meaningfully to the preservation of the water and carbon cycles that sustain life. Simple yet mindful actions, such as reducing personal carbon footprints, can collectively alleviate the strain on the atmosphere and oceans. By choosing sustainable transportation options, conserving energy at home, and supporting renewable resources, individuals can help lower greenhouse gas emissions and moderate the pace of climate change. These choices ripple outward, influencing broader societal behaviors and encouraging shifts toward environmentally friendly practices. This personal stewardship reflects an awareness that human well-being is inextricably linked to the health of these global cycles, fostering a harmonious relationship with the natural world. Water conservation presents another vital avenue through which individuals can safeguard Earth's hydrological cycle. Everyday practices such as mindful water use in households, reducing wasteful consumption, and supporting infrastructure for clean water access contribute to maintaining the availability and quality of fresh water resources. Collecting rainwater, using drought-resistant plants in gardens, and repairing leaks are practical steps that lessen the pressure on natural water systems. By understanding the journey of water, from precipitation to evaporation and infiltration, people can appreciate how their actions impact not only local environments, but also distant ecosystems connected through these flows. Embracing water stewardship nurtures a sense of shared responsibility and reminds us that preserving this precious resource is essential for sustaining biodiversity and human health alike. Beyond individual habits, supporting policies and initiatives aimed at protecting Earth's cycles strengthens collective efforts to maintain ecological balance. Advocacy for cleaner energy, responsible land use, and conservation programs amplifies the positive effects of personal choices. Participation in community projects such as tree planting, habitat restoration, and environmental education fosters a deeper connection to place and nature's rhythms. These collaborative endeavors demonstrate that the interplay between human society and Earth's systems thrives best when guided by respect and care. When individuals unite around common goals, their combined actions create momentum for meaningful change, ensuring that the vital processes of carbon sequestration and water purification continue to function effectively. Technology and information accessibility also empower individuals to make informed decisions that align with ecological preservation. Digital tools, apps, and online platforms provide insights into personal energy consumption, carbon emissions, and water use, enabling people to track and adjust their lifestyles accordingly. Education plays a pivotal role in cultivating environmental literacy, nurturing a generation that understands the interconnectedness of Earth's cycles and the consequences of human impact. This knowledge encourages responsible consumption patterns and supports innovation geared towards sustainability. By embracing awareness and proactive engagement, individuals become active participants in the ongoing effort to protect the natural cycles that underpin life on our planet. Earth's essential cycles, such as the water cycle and carbon cycle, operate in an intricate balance that sustains all life forms. These natural processes have evolved over millions of years, continuously recycling vital elements through the atmosphere, oceans, land, and living organisms. The water cycle moves moisture around the planet, supporting ecosystems by replenishing fresh water supplies, regulating climate, and nourishing plants and animals. Meanwhile, the carbon cycle maintains a delicate equilibrium of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, influencing global temperatures and providing the foundation for photosynthesis, which fuels the growth of plants and, ultimately, the food chain. However, as the climate changes due to human activities, these cycles face unprecedented disruptions that challenge their ability to function as they once did. Rising global temperatures, altered precipitation patterns, and increased greenhouse gas emissions have begun to shift the timing and intensity of these cycles, with consequences that ripple across ecosystems and human societies alike. Scientists project that the water cycle will become more erratic in the coming decades, with some regions experiencing intensified droughts, while others face more frequent and severe flooding. These changes threaten freshwater availability, agricultural productivity, and natural habitats. For instance, melting glaciers and snowpacks reduce the steady flow of rivers that many communities and ecosystems depend upon, while warmer air can hold more moisture, intensifying storms and rainfall events. Similarly, the carbon cycle is being altered by increased carbon emissions from fossil fuel combustion, deforestation, and land use changes. Excess carbon dioxide accumulates in the atmosphere faster than ecosystems can absorb it, enhancing the greenhouse effect and accelerating climate warming. This feedback loop poses risks to ocean health, as increased carbon uptake leads to acidification, affecting marine life and the food webs they support. Understanding these projected shifts allows us to anticipate challenges and develop strategies aimed at resilience and adaptation. The critical need for sustainable practices becomes increasingly clear as we consider the future of Earth's cycles. Efforts to reduce carbon emissions through renewable energy, reforestation, and conservation can help restore balance to the carbon cycle, while water management strategies that promote efficient use, protection of watersheds, and restoration of wetlands support the integrity of the water cycle. Sustainable agriculture, urban planning, and ecosystem restoration further contribute to maintaining these cycles by preserving soil health, biodiversity, and natural water filtration. These approaches emphasize working with nature rather than against it, recognizing that the health of Earth's cycles is intimately tied to human well-being. By aligning our actions with ecological principles, we safeguard the processes that not only sustain life today, but will nurture generations to come. Moreover, the integration of scientific research with traditional ecological knowledge provides a holistic perspective on managing Earth's cycles within a changing climate. Indigenous communities who have stewarded landscapes for centuries offer valuable insights into sustainable resource use and environmental rhythms. Collaborative efforts that respect diverse knowledge systems enhance our ability to address complex environmental challenges. As climate models improve and data becomes more accessible, adaptive management approaches allow for flexible responses to shifting conditions, ensuring that conservation and restoration initiatives remain effective. This dynamic interplay between science, culture, and policy underscores the importance of inclusive and informed decision-making in preserving the natural cycles that support life. Ultimately, the future of Earth's essential cycles depends on a collective commitment to sustainability, innovation, and stewardship. Each action, whether individual or systemic, contributes to the broader mosaic of efforts needed to maintain the delicate balance of these life-sustaining processes. As we deepen our understanding of the interconnectedness within Earth's systems, we are reminded of our role as custodians of this planet. The choices made today will shape the resilience of the water and carbon cycles, influencing the health and vitality of ecosystems worldwide. Continuing this journey of awareness and responsibility leads us toward exploring practical pathways for climate adaptation and mitigation, setting the stage for the next steps in our shared environmental future. As we reflect on the essential cycles that sustain life on Earth, it becomes clear that the water and carbon cycles are more than just scientific phenomena. They are the pulse of our planet's vitality. These cycles operate in seamless harmony, moving water through clouds, rivers, and oceans, while weaving carbon through forests, soils, and the atmosphere. This continuous exchange nurtures the ecosystems that support every living being, including ourselves. The water cycle replenishes fresh water, vital for drinking, agriculture, and habitat, while the carbon cycle regulates the climate and fuels the growth of plants, which in turn provide oxygen and nourishment. Through these interconnected processes, Earth maintains the conditions that make life possible. Recognizing this delicate balance invites us to consider how our daily choices ripple through these systems, underscoring the profound responsibility we hold as inhabitants of this living planet. The interconnectedness of Earth's cycles reveals a profound truth. No life exists in isolation. Every drop of water and every molecule of carbon moves within a vast network that connects oceans to atmosphere, forest to soil, and humans to nature. This intricate web reminds us that sustaining one element of the cycle depends on the health of the others. When forests absorb carbon to grow, they also influence rainfall patterns. When wetlands filter water, they create habitats that support biodiversity. Human activities, from deforestation to fossil fuel use, have begun to strain these natural rhythms, demonstrating how fragile these cycles truly are. Yet this awareness also brings hope. By embracing sustainable practices, restoring natural landscapes, and innovating with care, we can nurture the resilience of these cycles. Our stewardship can reinforce the harmony that has sustained life for millennia, ensuring that future generations inherit a thriving planet. In embracing our role as custodians of Earth's essential cycles, we embark on a path of mindful coexistence with the natural world. The water and carbon cycles remind us that life's continuity depends on balance, a balance that requires both humility and action. We are part of this living system, not separate from it. And the health of these cycles reflects the health of our communities and environments. Through education, conservation, and global cooperation, we can foster a renewed respect for these processes, cultivating a culture that values long-term well-being over short-term gain. Each small step, from conserving water to reducing carbon footprints, contributes to a collective momentum that sustains the planet's vitality. This shared responsibility inspires a deeper connection to the Earth and encourages us to live in harmony with the cycles that give us life. And that, the last part of these fortures, is a long pause. As we conclude this reflection on Earth's essential cycles, it is comforting to remember that these natural processes have endured through countless ages, adapting and sustaining life through change. Our challenge now is to honor this legacy by fostering resilience within these cycles amidst modern pressures. The water cycle's gentle rain, the carbon cycle's quiet exchange, both invite patience, understanding, and care. By aligning our actions with the rhythms of nature, we can help preserve the balance that enables forests to flourish, rivers to flow, and climates to stabilize. In this shared stewardship, we find not only a scientific imperative, but a profound source of inspiration and hope. The cycles of Earth sustain us all, and in protecting them, we protect ourselves and the generations yet to come.